What if today your healing didn't depend on your pace, but on the God who never rushes restoration? What if your wounds aren't proof of failure, but invitations to rest in His shelter? Before you scroll, breathe. Before the world demands, pause. This is your sacred moment. Come rest where healing doesn't have to hurry. God of mercy and morning light, we bring you the places that still ache, the wounds we thought would be gone by now, the weight we're too tired to carry. Shelter us in your presence as we begin this day. Let your steady hand do what our striving cannot. In Jesus' name, we receive. Amen. There are mornings when the ache wakes up before you do. The weight of old wounds greets you before your feet touch the floor. You pray, but the pain still lingers. You speak scripture, but the silence echoes back. You long for healing, but it feels like a mirage. And in that silence, a lie creeps in. You're still broken, so you must be doing something wrong. But beloved, healing isn't a sign of your failure. It's a sign of God's faithfulness. You are not failing. You are abiding. And God is not watching from afar, evaluating your pain. He is near, closer than your breath, dwelling with you under the shadow of His wings. Psalm 91 promises that whoever dwells, not visits but dwells, in the shelter of the Most High shall abide under His shadow. That word dwell invites permanence, a holy staying, not because the healing is complete, but because the healer is present. His message today is clear. Stay, not because you're done healing, but because healing begins here. The pressure to feel instantly fixed is one of the cruelest burdens we carry. We equate breakthrough with speed and healing with arrival. But spiritual restoration is not an event. It is a rhythm. It is breath. It is process. It is grace moving at the pace of mercy. Pope Leo III reminds us, the soul mends best under the patient hand of heaven. That patience is not God's delay. It is God's tenderness, like the slow knit of a scar or the bloom of spring beneath frost. Spiritual healing honors the rhythm your soul can carry. God isn't pushing you past your pain. He's sitting with you in it, renewing you from the inside out. Psalm 23 does not say He drives the soul. It says He restores it. Restoration doesn't rush. It returns. And every morning you return to this prayer. You are not repeating failure. You are responding in faith. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not broken beyond repair. You are in process, and this process is holy. There will be voices inside and outside that try to rush your healing. They whisper, "You should be over this by now," or "If you really believed, you wouldn't still be hurting." But those voices are not from God. They are echoes of fear, not the sound of faith. You are not too far behind. You are right where grace is working, like the seed hidden beneath the soil or the first pink light of dawn against a dark sky. Healing is holy even when unseen. Your unseen progress is still sacred. Isaiah 53 says you are healed by His wounds, not by your perfection, not by your striving, not by how strong you feel today. Every scar on Jesus' body is a love letter of mercy. You don't have to heal yourself. You only have to stay close. So bring your ache, bring your numbness, bring your spiritual limp. If all you can say is, "God help," that is sacred. That is faith. That is enough for today. If the waiting has worn thin, if your prayers have turned to silence, if your hope feels bruised and quiet, God is still with you. He is not measuring your trust by your volume. Sometimes trust is loud with praise, but sometimes it's quiet perseverance. It's listening to a morning prayer when everything in you feels numb. It's whispering, "I still believe," even when you don't feel it. Lisa Bevere says healing often looks like limping toward the altar, not dancing from it. God's message is not get over it, but bring it here. The promise in Psalm 91 is not for the perfect. It's for the present. It's for the one who shows up under the shadow of the Almighty and says, "I still believe you are my refuge." Let today be a holy declaration. I am not a failure because I still feel. I am not disqualified because I still grieve. I am not forgotten because I am still healing. I am loved. I am seen. I am becoming whole. Heaven's pace is gentle because love is never in a rush. Where in your life are you still waiting for healing, even after many prayers? What lie have you believed about what slow healing says about your faith? How can you practice staying close to God, even when nothing seems to change? He restores my soul. Psalm 23:3, by his wounds I am healed. Isaiah 53:5, paraphrased. Whoever dwells in his shelter will rest in his shadow. Come back to this prayer daily. Let it become your rhythm, not your rescue plan. Share this with someone who's still healing too. You are not alone in the waiting. You are not late to healing. You are right on time for grace. There is something sacred about repetition, something healing about returning to the same place, even when the answers haven't changed and the ache still lingers. Daily prayer isn't a formula for quick deliverance. It is the sacred rhythm of a soul choosing to trust again and again. It is spiritual breathing. Inhale truth, exhale fear. It is not for God's benefit, but for ours. Because we forget, because the noise is loud, because our wounds scream louder than our faith. And so we return. We whisper scripture, not to remind God of his promise, but to remind our hearts that he keeps it. When you say, he restores my soul, even before you feel it, you are planting a seed of healing in the soil of your pain. God's message today is not be stronger. It's come again, come tired, come uncertain, come with whatever strength you have left. Is come. Because the rhythm of restoration begins with the courage to return, even in weakness. Trust is not a one-time decision. It is a daily surrender, a decision you make each morning when the pain still whispers and the outcome is still unclear. When you begin the day with prayer, even though your situation hasn't changed, you are reclaiming sacred ground. You are telling your soul that the God who promised restoration has not abandoned you in the waiting. Psalm 23 says, he leads me beside still waters. That isn't a one-time event. It's a continual rhythm. Every time you show up in prayer, the shepherd is already there, offering stillness, offering peace. Lisa Bevere describes prayer as the slow unwrapping of a soul wound tight with anxiety. That's what this rhythm is. It softens what life has hardened. It teaches you to breathe again, to trust again, to stop bracing for disappointment and start receiving mercy. This is not about performance, it's about presence, about choosing God again, not because he forgot you, but because he's still holding you close. There will be mornings when prayer feels hollow, when scripture sounds flat and healing feels far away. On those mornings, remember this: God is not grading your prayers, he's welcoming your presence. He's receiving your weariness. Daily prayer doesn't make you perfect. It makes you present. It roots you in sacred memory. It tells your spirit, I am still here. I am still loved. I am not alone. This is the forming of faith, not its failure. God says today, I am still restoring what others said was beyond repair. I am still working in the silence. Your heart is not stuck. It is being strengthened. Keep praying, not to prove anything, but to stay connected to the one who is already working in you. Let the slow rhythm of this sacred habit form a deeper trust than you've ever known. Let it draw you back, not because you're strong, but because you are loved enough to stay close. Think of your heart as a garden. Every prayer is a watering, even when the seed is still underground, even when no growth is visible. The water is never wasted. Prayer is the holy repetition of trust. Pope Leo the Canthorus once wrote that the soul flourishes not through striving, but through quiet returning. That's what daily prayer is, a return to the source, to the shelter, to the God who says, you are safe here. You don't need polished words, you only need an honest heart. Show up today, show up again tomorrow, Let the rhythm of restoration move from habit to identity. This is no longer just something you do. It becomes who you are, a soul shaped by staying close. You are not repeating failure, you are responding in faith. And heaven sees the hidden roots stretching deeper. The miracle may not be loud, but it is happening. God is still tending the soil of your soul. This is the mystery of healing. It rarely comes the way we expect. It doesn't arrive as a sudden rush, but as a sacred unfolding, through silence, through scripture, through the willingness to stay. The world calls this weakness, but heaven calls it faithfulness. When you return again and again, even without answers, even through tears, you are becoming more than healed. You are becoming whole. Daily prayer is not a rescue plan. It is your rhythm of restoration. It is the sacred act of choosing presence over pressure. God's message to you today is this: do not despise the slowness. It is still holy. It is still mine, and you are still my beloved. This prayer is not the end of your healing. It is the place where healing begins again. What part of your healing journey feels too slow to trust right now? How does the rhythm of daily prayer change your posture toward waiting? Can you identify a moment this week when prayer helped you breathe differently? He leads me beside still waters. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge. Psalm 91:2. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Come back to this moment tomorrow. Let repetition become your rest. Let daily prayer reshape your expectations. And if this comforted you, send it to someone who's tired of waiting, so they'll know they're not waiting alone. There's a quiet heaviness that creeps in when healing doesn't follow the timeline you hoped for. You begin to look at your life like a puzzle, still missing pieces, disappointed that despite all your prayers, something still feels undone. But what if the ache isn't proof of failure? What if the pressure to fix everything is the very thing making the wound ache more? What if God's message today is not put yourself back together, but let me hold you in pieces? You were never meant to be your own healer. You were meant to be held. Psalm 91 does not say the one who solves their pain will be saved. It says the one who dwells in the secret place of the Most High will rest in His shadow. That's not a demand for completion before you're welcome. It's an invitation to bring your undone places into the safety of His presence. You don't have to fix it all today. That's not your job. Your job is to come, to stay, to breathe, and to trust that healing is unfolding even now. The enemy often whispers, "You should be further along by now." It sounds holy, but it's rooted in shame. It shifts the burden of healing from God's grace to your effort. But healing is not a performance, it's a divine partnership. It is not a checklist to complete, it's a relationship to rest in. Pope Leo Capps once reflected, "Restoration begins not in perfection, but in permission. Permission to be broken, permission to be honest, permission to be held before you are whole." Psalm 23 says, "He restores my soul, not you, not your willpower, not your timeline. He restores, and He does it at a pace that honors your humanity and holds your heart with gentleness. You don't need to outrun your ache or force yourself to smile through it. You only need to place your pain in the hands of the one who never wastes a wound." When we treat prayer as a task to perform, we miss its purpose. Prayer is not a transaction, it's a transformation. It's not about fixing you, it's about forming you. It's not a performance for God, it's a presentation of self to Him. Dr. Anita Phillips teaches that healing doesn't begin in pretending, it begins in presenting. That means bringing your honest, aching heart into the presence of a God who isn't afraid of your brokenness. A God who doesn't need eloquence, only honesty. To say, "God, I'm still hurting, I'm still waiting, but I'm still here," is more powerful than any perfect prayer. Heaven is not frustrated with your pace. God is not impatient with your tears. He doesn't demand that today be the finish line. He simply invites you to come again, to show up. That is where healing begins. In this space, let your soul breathe. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not a disappointment for still needing help. In fact, your need is what draws God near. Psalm 91 calls him a refuge and fortress, not a taskmaster. He's not tracking your failures. He's catching your sighs. His presence is not reserved for the triumphant. It's for the tired, the tender, the torn, the ones who say, I can't fix this on my own. And that's where healing begins. Not in your strength, but in your surrender. You don't have to know what comes next. You just have to take one sacred step, to show up in prayer, to bring your ache into God's shelter, to trade the weight of doing for the rest of dwelling. That's all you need to do today. And that is enough. Let the pressure go. Let the timelines fade. Let the shame be silenced. Psalm 23 reminds us that He leads us through the valley, not around it. That means you may be in a valley today, but you are not alone, and you are not failing. You are being gently led. You are being faithfully restored. So let today be what it is, a breath, not the breakthrough, a single prayer, not the final chapter. You don't have to fix it all today. You don't even have to understand the full path. You only have to return to the one who walks with you through it all. Healing is not a race, it is a return. And today, with this prayer, you have already returned. What burden are you still trying to fix by yourself instead of surrendering to God? How has rushing your healing process affected your peace or your prayer life? What might happen if you allowed God to hold you in your brokenness without fixing it first? He restores my soul. Psalm 23:3, rest in His shadow. Come unto me, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28, pause today's striving. Say aloud, God, I don't have to fix it all today. Then send this prayer to someone who feels overwhelmed and remind them, healing is not a race. It's a return. There's a reason Psalm 91 keeps rising from the lips of the weary every morning. It doesn't promise a life without wounds, but it offers something deeper, shelter while you're still bleeding. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That word, abide, isn't about passing through. It's about resting, remaining, being held. It means that even when the wound is fresh, even when the ache echoes louder than your hope, even when yesterday's grief wakes up with you, you still have a place to be covered. God's message today is not come back when you're whole. It's you're safe here now, right now, in your limping, in your doubting, in your still healing places. You are not too broken for His shadow. You are the reason it's there. You don't have to prove strength to find safety. You only need to bring your honest ache to the God who wraps restoration in stillness. Daily prayer is how we stay, not how we earn. It is not a badge of spiritual success, it's a blanket of safety. Psalm 91 was not written for the already healed, but for the one still bleeding. For the woman afraid to hope again, for the man crushed by what he can't say out loud, for the soul that wakes up and whispers, God, please hold me together. And He does, not with shame, not with impatience, but with presence. The secret place is not an emergency exit, it's the place where the soul returns every day. Pope Leo Kent reminds us, some of heaven's greatest healings begin not with a shout, but with the soul who stays. If all you can do today is sit in God's shadow and breathe, that is not small, it is sacred, and heaven sees you not as someone lagging behind, but as someone held in holy rhythm. You may still carry the guilt of thinking you have to be better before you can be comforted, but the shadow of the Almighty falls on those who stop striving, on those who stay long enough for peace to settle in. Stillness is not weakness, it is worship. Dr. Anita Phillips teaches that true healing is not the erasure of pain, but the restoration of trust. That's what Psalm 91 invites you into, not to deny your struggle, but but to rest inside divine safety. When you whisper, "I trust you," even through tears, you are aligning your soul with the covering of God's presence. You don't need to know how or when the healing will finish. You just need to know where to stay, and the shadow of the Almighty is where souls breathe again. Psalm 91 names real fears: terrors by night, arrows by day, destruction and disease. These aren't poetic exaggerations, they're soul-level threats. And yet the psalmist dares to say, "I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge." That's not denial, it's defiant faith, a holy courage to declare God's protection even when danger feels close. You don't need to feel fearless to be covered. God's covering is not a medal for the brave, it's a shelter for the broken. If you feel fragile today, if you feel like you're just barely holding on, then Psalm 91 was written for you. It doesn't require you to be strong enough. It only invites you to stay close enough. Because close is where covering begins, and covering is where healing keeps unfolding, even when no one else sees it. Let this morning be more than a routine. Let it be your refuge. That first breath you take with God's name on your heart is enough to begin again. You may not feel different, but trust is forming beneath the surface. Just as you can feel the warmth of the sun through clouds you can't see, God's presence surrounds you, even when it's quiet. Like breath you didn't ask for, but still receive. His nearness is your portion. God said you are not outside of His will just because you're still healing. You are not uncovered just because you still cry. You are not overlooked just because you're still in process. You are within His wings. You are under His shadow. You are loved in the middle, not just at the end. What part of your heart feels too messy to bring under God's covering right now? How can Psalm 91 become more than a verse, but your place of refuge each morning? What would it mean to believe that you are protected even when you don't feel healed? He who dwells shall abide under the shadow. Psalm 91:1. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge. Psalm 91:2. You are my hiding place. You surround me with songs of deliverance. Psalm 32:7. Read Psalm 91 aloud today, not to earn healing, but to rest in it. Then share this prayer with someone who's still hurting. Remind them, you don't have to be healed to be covered. You just have to stay. There is a sacred kind of ache reserved for those who carry pain they never chose, for the child who cries in silence, for the woman with grief too deep for language, for the man who walks through life with invisible wounds no one notices. This morning, we pause, not just for our healing, but for theirs, for the unseen, for the unheard. Prayer is not a retreat from suffering. It's a holy act of presence. And today, we become intercessors. The world aches, but so does heaven, with mercy. God's message today is this: no cry is overlooked. No pain is too far for my hand to reach. As you shelter beneath Psalm 91, let your heart stretch wider. Let your compassion rise like incense, filling the gaps where your voice may be the only one standing in the gap. This is not just your morning refuge, it is your calling to carry someone else to the feet of the healer. We lift to you, holy God, every soul too weary to speak, the war-torn and the war-weary, the child whose dreams have been interrupted by sirens, the mother who no longer has words for her sorrow, the father whose strength is spent in silence. We name them before you, not because we know every detail, but because you do. You see each tear, you remember each name, you hold each life in your boundless mercy. Wrap them in the protection of your wings. Whisper peace into their night terrors. Be their fortress when the walls crumble. Let your justice move with tenderness, and let your mercy stand when the world forgets. We pray, not from a distance, but as part of the same aching world. You are not the God of the untouched, you are the God of the suffering. And in Jesus' name, we ask for healing, not just for our wounds, but for theirs too. Amen. Now breathe, not to escape, but to connect. to remember that intercession is not a detour from healing, it is the doorway deeper into it. When you carry others into God's presence, something shifts in your own soul. Your pain becomes part of a larger story, your heart a bridge, your tears a healing river. Psalm 91 promises that His faithfulness is our shield, and that promise extends to all who dwell with Him. You are not praying alone. You are joining a divine chorus, a communion of compassion echoing across heaven and earth, and that echo changes things. It opens space. It builds sanctuary. It turns pain into prayer. You may feel small in the face of the world's sorrow, but God never asked you to solve everything, only to care, only to pray, only to stay close. Pope Leo XIV once said, "The soul deepens when it cries for someone it's never met." That's the spirit of Christ. That's the heart of intercession. Your whispered prayer this morning may be the only covering someone has, and that is not nothing. That is sacred. You become more like Jesus not when you fix the world, but when you carry it into the Father's arms. Let your ache become ministry. Let your empathy become a place where heaven touches earth. So even if you are still waiting for your own breakthrough, even if your prayers feel small, let them rise. Let them carry names you don't know, stories you'll never hear. Let them speak for those who can't. Psalm 23 says, "We walk through the valley." So if you're walking through, don't walk alone. Carry someone in your heart. Let your mourning become a message of mercy. Let your sorrow sow seeds of hope. Let this moment be more than healing for you. Let it be healing for the world. One name, one tear, one prayer at a time. Who in your life or in the world needs prayer but may never ask for it? How can lifting others in prayer soften the hardened places in your own heart? What does it mean to you that God's healing is not limited by borders or language? He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34, verse 18. Surely He shall deliver you. Psalm 91:3. Share this prayer with someone who feels invisible. Post a simple comment today. I'm praying for those who suffer in silence. Let your voice become part of heaven's healing today. Let love speak where pain has kept silent. We often treat healing like a destination, some bright moment where everything painful ends and everything whole begins. But healing is rarely sudden and never linear. It's not a finish line you cross, it's a sacred path you walk. Sometimes steady, sometimes halting, sometimes barely moving at all, but always held. God's message today is this: stop thinking you're behind. Just because you're still healing, you are not failing, you are unfolding. You are not late, you are living in divine time. Psalm 91 doesn't ask you to arrive strong, it invites you to dwell, to abide, to stay. And staying is sometimes the bravest thing you can do. You can rest in His shadow even with bandaged hopes and unfinished prayers. Healing is not a deadline, it's a daily dependence, a rhythm of returning to God with the honesty of your ache and the quiet courage to trust again. The world rewards speed and celebrates transformation you can see, but heaven honors endurance that no one applauds. Not the loud breakthrough, but the quiet staying power. Not the polished testimony, but the tear-stained prayer. Healing doesn't always look like standing tall. It often looks like falling into God's arms. Sometimes it's a whisper, "Still here, Lord." Sometimes it's just breathing through the pain instead of walking away. Pope Leo the Catholic reminds us that God is more moved by one honest return than 1,000 perfect performances. Heaven is not rushing you. Heaven is walking beside you. You are not lost. You are not failing. You are becoming something more sacred than you were before. Someone formed by grace, not driven by pressure. When you treat your pain like a problem to solve, you start measuring your progress with shame instead of peace. You compare, you criticize, you shrink in the presence of others' healing. But Psalm 23 doesn't say, "He drives me." It says, "He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul." He leads. He doesn't rush. He doesn't demand. His leadership is love, not pressure. That truth is your comfort today. Your slowness doesn't disappoint him. Your struggle doesn't intimidate him. Your weariness doesn't disqualify you. It draws him closer. Let that comfort reframe your expectations. Your pace is not a problem. It's part of the process. Each time you return to this prayer, even if it feels like nothing is changing, you are participating in your healing. Every morning whisper of, "I trust you." Every sigh surrendered. Every moment of stillness in God's presence is holy work. Lisa Bevere reminds us that divine delays are often acts of mercy, not denials, but deeper preparation. God is not just fixing what hurts. He's restoring what you forgot was sacred. He's going beneath the surface, beyond the timeline, into the parts of you that ache the most and breathe the deepest. This kind of healing takes time because it lasts. It's not fragile. It's not rushed. It's rooted. And even your waiting has weight in heaven. And this is tender truth. You can be both grateful and grieving. You can say thank you and still whisper, "God, I wish this were over." You don't have to choose between praise and pain. God meets you in both. Healing isn't pretending the ache is gone. It's choosing to walk with the one who still walks with you in the ache. That's the power of daily prayer. It reminds your soul that healing is not about arrival. It's about abiding, about staying with the shepherd, who doesn't just meet you at the end, but keeps you close at every step. So if today feels slow, if your progress feels invisible, if you wonder whether anything is really changing, remember this: the journey is sacred, the process is holy. You are not being punished, you are being formed. You are not forgotten, you are being restored. This path may not be straight, it may not be fast, but it is led by love. God is in every breath, every moment, every tear. You're not late, you're right on time, in the rhythm of redemption. Where have you placed unrealistic deadlines on your own healing? How might your prayer life change if you saw healing as a journey, not an event? What would it look like to let God lead your healing instead of trying to force it? He leads me. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, 2-3. Dwell in the secret place. Rest in his shadow. Psalm 91, 1. Be patient in tribulation. Continue steadfastly in prayer. Romans 12:12, paraphrased. Say aloud, "Today, healing is not a race. I am still becoming." Then share this prayer with someone who needs to hear that slow doesn't mean stuck, and that God is in every step of the journey. Waiting can quietly wear a hole in your heart, not just through time, but through the tension of not knowing when healing will come. We crave resolution. We want the ache to end. We want the pain to finally stay buried. But God is not in a hurry, because love never is. His healing does not come on demand, it comes on purpose. And though his rhythm may feel slow to us, it is never uncertain. His message this morning is tender but firm. You're not waiting because I forgot. You're waiting because I'm forming something sacred in you. Every delay is love disguised. Every pause is protection. Every silence is filled with presence. Healing isn't late. It's being layered deep within you in ways you cannot yet see. Trust the process, because the process is love. Psalm 23 says, "He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake." That means the direction you're headed is not random. It means the slow steps, the still moments, and even the detours are aligned with something far deeper than comfort. They are aligned with God's name. His name is on your story, so he's not going to rush it. He's not going to shortcut your soul. He's building something in you that lasts. Pope Leo Coron once reflected, "A hurried healing creates shallow roots, but slow healing anchors the soul in grace." That's why God is taking his time with you, not to punish, but to strengthen, not to test, but to rebuild. And what he rebuilds cannot be easily shaken. The enemy will whisper that delay means abandonment, that if you were truly loved, you wouldn't still be hurting. But delay isn't absence, It's alignment. God isn't leaving you behind. He's drawing you into deeper restoration. Morning prayer becomes a holy resistance to that lie. It says, "Even when nothing looks different, I still choose to stay close." Psalm 91 assures you that you are covered under His wings. That covering doesn't expire when the timeline disappoints you. It remains. He remains. Prayer isn't a tool to speed up healing. It's a tether to the one who heals in ways we don't yet see. It anchors your anxious heart to a faithful God. You are not left behind. You are being carried. So often, our anxiety isn't about the wound itself. It's about time, the fear that we're falling behind, the fear that we'll never feel normal again, the fear that healing should have happened by now. But that's not how heaven works. The kingdom moves in rhythms, not rush. God's peace is not hurried. God's voice is not loud with pressure. It is soft, deliberate, patient. Lisa Veer reminds us, God isn't slow, He's intentional. What looks like delay is often design. What feels like silence is often saturation, soaking your soul in unseen mercy. God knows the morning when the ache will lift. He knows the breath that will finally feel light. But until then, He walks with you. Not ahead, not behind, with you. And if today feels like just another day where nothing changed, know this: it's not nothing. It's still part of your becoming. It's still covered. It's still holy. Psalm 23 doesn't avoid the valley. It walks through it, which means the valley is not a detour. It's part of the path. And the shepherd does not disappear there. He draws closer. Every slow step you take with Him matters. Every day you stay with the process becomes sacred ground. You are not stalled. You are safe. You are not forgotten. You are being gently shaped by hands that know how to heal without rushing. Where have you confused God's timing with absence or rejection? What is one area of your life where slow healing might be producing something deeper? How can you begin to welcome God's pace rather than resist it? He leads me in paths of righteousness. Psalm 23:3. Under His wings you will find refuge. Psalm 91:4. The Lord is not slow, but patient toward you. 2 Peter 3:9 paraphrased. Say this aloud today. God's timing is slow, but it is safe. Then forward this prayer to someone who's tired of waiting, so they too can know what feels like delay is actually deep, deliberate love. There's a reason your soul recoils at the pressure to hurry up and heal. You weren't made to mend through force. You were made to be restored through gentleness. Psalm 23 doesn't thunder. It whispers, He restores my soul. No demands, no pressure, no ultimatums. Just quiet, consistent, holy restoration. And that word restore, it doesn't mean to forget or replace. It means to bring back to life, to breathe into again what once felt lost, to take what was fractured and tend to it, not with violence, but with compassion. You are not a problem to be fixed. You are a soul to be cared for. And today, you don't have to earn that care. You just have to let yourself rest in the hands that are already healing you. You may feel like your soul is holding on by threads, frayed in places you can't name, wary from pretending to be okay. But Psalm 23 shows us where restoration begins. He makes me lie down. He leads me beside still waters. God's first act of healing isn't to fix, it's to slow, to quiet the storm, to bring stillness where the noise has lived too long. That's not passivity, it's protection. Stillness is how He calms the system before He restores the structure. It's how He prepares the wound to receive love instead of shame. Lisa Veer reminds us that surrender is not defeat, it's release. And there is no shame in saying, God, I can't carry this alone anymore. That is where the healing begins, not in control, but in the courage to collapse into grace. Gentleness is not weakness, it is wisdom. When God heals gently, it is not because He's withholding strength, it's because He's honoring your tenderness. Pope Leo the Catholic once said, God's restoration is rarely loud, but always lasting. So don't discount the healing just because it hasn't made headlines in your heart yet. Look closer. Has your breath slowed? Have you been honest with God more often? Do you feel the faint return of peace where anxiety once lived? These are not small signs, these are sacred ones. The roots of true healing always begin below the surface, in the quiet places where only God sees. This moment right now, this quiet space of prayer, is not just something you do, it's something God uses. Every time you return, every time you show up tired but willing, every time you whisper, "Restore me," something shifts. Not instantly, but eternally. You're not failing, you're healing. And the one healing you isn't measuring your progress, he's meeting your presence. Psalm 91 says, "He shall cover you with his feathers. Under his wings shalt thou trust." That is the posture of true restoration. Not pressure, but protection. You are not exposed. You are hidden in grace, gently being made whole. So if today all you can do is breathe and sit in stillness, then do that. Do it knowing that your silence is not empty. It is full of holy work. Do it knowing that God doesn't need your strength to begin restoration. He just needs your surrender. The kind of surrender that says, "I believe you're working even when I can't see it." The kind of surrender that trades urgency for intimacy. The kind that lets gentleness win. What would it mean for you to let God restore your soul gently today? Where in your life have you confused striving with healing? How can you begin to trust that quiet restoration is still real restoration? He restores my soul, Psalm 23:3. He makes me lie down in green pastures, Psalm 23:2. Under his wings shalt thou trust, Psalm 91:4. Say aloud, "God, I welcome your gentle restoration." Then send this to someone who's healing quietly, who feels unseen in their slow progress. Let them know God's hand is still working, softly but surely. There is a lie that seeps in quietly and settles deep. If I were really whole, I wouldn't still be hurting. But your pain is not a measure of your distance from God. It is the very place he draws closest. The wound does not mean you're unworthy. It means you're human. It means you're in process. And it means you are perfectly positioned for divine mercy. Psalm 91 never claims you'll be untouched by struggle. It promises that in the middle of it you'll be covered. He shall deliver thee from the snare, his truth shall be thy shield. That's not a promise of a polished life. It's a promise of protection in the middle of the mess. And God's message today is this: the wound does not disqualify you. It identifies you as mine. We live in a world that tells us to conceal our pain, to act stronger than we are, to wait until we're better before coming close. But God does the opposite. He moves toward the places you try to hide. He doesn't need you to clean it up before he steps in. He kneels beside you as you are. The tears, the doubt, the ache. He sees it all and still calls you beloved. Pope Leo XII once said, "The soul most cherished by heaven is not the perfect one. It is the pierced one that stays open." That openness, your willingness to be seen while still bleeding, is holy ground. You don't need to bury your pain to be beloved. You need only to bring it into the light. Remember, even Jesus kept his wounds, not hidden but glorified, not erased but transformed. His hands and side still bear the marks, not as symbols of weakness, but as eternal reminders that healing and hurt can coexist. That glory is not found in pretending we're untouched, but in showing others what redemption really looks like. Lisa Bevere puts it this way: our wounds surrendered become windows of light. When you let God hold what hurts, that place doesn't stay broken. It becomes sacred. Not perfect, but poured out. Not unscarred, but holy. So don't filter your pain in this prayer space. Bring it raw, bring it trembling. Say it without dressing it up. "Lord, this still hurts." And let him respond, "I know, and I'm not leaving." Psalm 23 doesn't skip the pain. Though I walk through the valley, it's not a detour, it's part of the path. But the promise is not that pain is avoided, it's that presence never leaves. For thou art with me. You are not carrying this alone. Even if you feel misunderstood by others, even if the people around you have no idea what your soul holds, God does. You are fully known and fully loved in the same breath. Let this be the morning you stop letting pain be your identity. It may be part of your story, but it is not your worth. You are not a mistake. You are a vessel, and every time you come to prayer honestly, every time you whisper, "Still I trust you," even when it still aches, you declare something more powerful than pain. You declare belonging. You are not too wounded to be used. You are not too broken to be restored. You are not your scars. You are His. What wound in your life have you mistaken for spiritual failure? How would your healing shift if you believed your wound doesn't make you unworthy? What does it look like for you to bring that pain honestly into God's presence today? His truth shall be thy shield. Psalm 91:4. Though I walk through the valley, thou art with me. Psalm 23:4. By His wounds we are healed. Isaiah 53:5. Speak this truth today. My wound does not define my worth. God's love does. Then send this to someone who needs to know they are not disqualified by what they carry. Healing begins with honesty, and you are safe to be seen. Trust isn't built in applause. It's built in the quiet, in the hidden corners of your morning where no one sees and nothing seems to shift, and still you choose to stay. Trust is not a spotlight moment. It's a slow planting, a sacred decision made in the absence of clarity. It grows every time you rise without resolution and still say, "God, I'm here." Every time you whisper, "You are my refuge," not because you feel safe, but because you choose to believe you are. Psalm 91 doesn't say trust is the reward. It says trust is the declaration. In Him will I trust. Before the deliverance, before the comfort. Trust is the seed planted in soil, soaked with questions, and God sees every seed, every sigh, every return. Some mornings, trust feels like a mountain you don't have the energy to climb. The echoes of disappointment are loud. The silence from heaven is louder. Your body is tired, your heart is tender, and your prayers feel unanswered. But here's the truth. Your hesitation does not offend God. It draws Him near. He is not after perfection. He is after your presence. T.D. Jakes reminds us that trust often begins not with strength, but with surrender. It begins when you stop trying to carry what's breaking and instead say, "God, this is yours now." You don't need a bold voice to trust. You just need a willing heart. Even the faintest breath of belief is a holy offering. We often imagine trust as a leap of faith, but more often it's a leaning, a resting, a breath taken in a quiet room. It's the stillness that says, "I don't know what you're doing, but I know you." That's why daily prayer matters, not because it changes everything in an instant, but because it recenters the soul, morning after morning, on the one who never leaves. Pope Leo the Corset teaches that a soul that no longer fights the quiet is a soul that has begun to trust. Trust is not about control, it's about connection. And the quiet is not a void, it's the place where that connection deepens. Psalm 23 doesn't say He pushes us through the noise, it says He leads us beside still waters. That word, still, is holy. It is the setting where the soul can finally breathe, where healing can take root, where trust is not forced but formed. The quiet is not a punishment, it's a garden. And every moment you enter it with honesty, every time you show up in prayer with nothing but need, trust is being sown. Slowly, invisibly, but surely. And in time, what you planted in faith will bloom in strength. So today, do not rush through the silence. Do not dismiss the small acts of showing up. Trust is not proven in noise, it's planted in stillness. It's not about how much you feel, it's about who you're facing. And as long as your face is turned toward God, you are growing, even when nothing feels different, even when it still hurts, even when the answers don't come. Trust grows in silence, and one day it will speak with strength. What quiet act of trust are you being called to today? How do you respond when God feels silent? Do you run or rest? What would it look like to believe that trust is growing even when you feel nothing? In Him will I trust. Psalm 91:2. He leads me beside still waters. Psalm 23. The Lord is good to those who wait for Him. Say aloud today, even when it's quiet, I choose to trust. Then send this to someone who feels like they're trusting in the dark. Remind them, trust isn't proven by noise. It's planted in the stillness, and it will rise. There is a lie that healing must be complete before life can be meaningful again. But you are not a half-built house waiting for the final brick. You are already the sacred dwelling place of God, under construction, yes, but completely cherished. You are still becoming, and that doesn't make you broken. It makes you beloved in process. God's message today is not get over it, but grow through it. There is no shame in the heaviness you still carry, no guilt in the ache that still wakes with you. What matters most is this: you are still here, still praying, still placing your heart again and again into the hands of the one who heals not just fast, but faithfully. You are not late. You are becoming, and becoming is slow, sacred work. Psalm 91 doesn't say the perfect one will be delivered. It says the one who dwells will be safe. That means God is not looking for polished performances. He's looking for presence. You don't have to reach the finish line before you're welcomed in His embrace. You just have to keep returning. This morning prayer is not your certificate of wholeness. It's your declaration that you're loved while still in progress. Trust in God doesn't mean you ignore what hurts. It means you stop running from it and start bringing it into the light. Lisa Bevere reminds us, the places we hide become the places we hurt the longest. So, come out of hiding, not for judgment, for healing. Pope Leo XXII once said, "The soul that stays with God in imperfection is holier than the one that runs away in pursuit of flawlessness." That truth unlocks you. You are not holy because you finished healing. You are holy because you've stayed through it. Stayed through the confusion, stayed in prayer when silence was louder than answers, stayed under His shadow when pain echoed louder than peace. This is how wholeness is built, layer by layer, day by day, not by achieving, but by abiding. And every return is proof not of weakness, but of willingness. You are still becoming whole each time you say, "Lord, I'm here." You are still becoming whole when you pray through pain, when you wake with sorrow but still open the Word, when you whisper Psalm 23 through tears and feel faintly the shepherd's rod steadying you. Healing isn't the moment you stop crying. It's the moment you understand your tears are held. And every time you return to this space, to this silence, to this sacred rhythm of mourning, you are being renewed. Even if your hands shake, even if your steps are small, you are moving deeper into restoration. This process isn't perfection, it's presence, it's persistence, and it is precious to God. Think of your life as a stained glass window in the making. Every jagged edge, every broken piece is being placed by God into something radiant, not discarded, not wasted, redeemed. What you see as shattered, He sees as a mosaic of mercy. He hasn't stopped working, not because you've failed, but because He's not finished. He's forming more than comfort. He's forming endurance, compassion, strength, and all of that is wholeness. Not the absence of pain, but the presence of peace that sits beside it. Psalm 91 calls it refuge. Psalm 23 calls it restored. Jesus calls it abiding, and it's yours. Today, let today be a gentle reminder. You are allowed to not have it all together. You are allowed to need help, grace, time, and tenderness. You are allowed to say, "I don't know how to heal this," and still rest beneath the wings of the Almighty. You are still becoming whole. And that, in heaven's eyes, is more than enough. What part of your life do you feel like you must fix before God can use you? Before this fate, before beauty, before dreams, before life, before God can use you? How might your healing deepen if you believed you are still becoming without shame? What's one area where you can replace perfectionism with presence today? He that dwelleth in the secret place shall abide, Psalm 91:1. He restoreth my soul, Psalm 23:3. You are God's workmanship, Ephesians 2:10, paraphrased. Say aloud, I am still becoming whole, and that is holy. Then send this prayer to someone who feels unworthy because they're unfinished. Let them know, in God's hands, becoming is beautiful. There is a kind of healing that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with fireworks or fanfare. It moves quietly, like breath in the lungs, like water soaking dry soil. That healing is found in daily prayer, not the dramatic kind, but the faithful kind, the kind that happens when no one is watching, the kind that meets you before the world does, one prayer at a time, one morning at a time. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. This is choosing the medicine your soul was designed for. God's message today is this: don't underestimate the quiet power of your daily prayers, even when they feel routine, even when you don't feel anything at all. Every word is planting peace. Every moment is part of the cure. Psalm 91 doesn't say he who visits occasionally. It says, he that dwelleth in the secret place shall abide. That word dwell is healing in itself. It means stay, remain, make your home there. And daily prayer is how you build that home. Even when your thoughts wander, even when your heart is still aching, you are abiding. And that is where healing becomes more than a wish. It becomes a reality. You may not notice it happening, but you'll notice what stops happening. The anxiety that once ruled your morning is softer. The shame that once spoke first is quieter. The ache still lingers, but it no longer defines the day. That is prayer working like holy medicine. Each time you show up with heavy eyes or an overwhelmed heart, heaven sees more than just your discipline. It sees your desperation turning into devotion. Pope Leo the Capital once wrote, prayer is the slow transfusion of heaven into the bloodstream of sorrow. You are receiving that transfusion right now. The Spirit is stabilizing what grief tried to scatter. The wounds may not vanish overnight, but they are being tended to, and God is not rushing the process. He is sanctifying it. Your healing isn't happening because you're trying harder. It's happening because you keep coming back. You don't need fire to prove that something holy is happening. You just need stillness. And staying. Daily prayer also heals your identity, not just your emotions, not just your memory, but your sense of who you are. You are not the sum of what's been done to you. You are not a statistic or a survival story. You are a seat holder at the table of God. Psalm 23 says, He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. That table is not only where you eat, it's where you remember who you are, whose you are, that you belong, that you are beloved. And every time you pray, you pull up your chair again. You refuse to surrender your name to shame. Prayer is how you say, this pain is real, but so is my place in God's presence. You may not feel spiritual. You may feel like you're fumbling through prayer, repeating words you barely believe, but that's not faking it, that's fighting through it. Dr. Anita Phillips teaches that prayer reconnects us to our true self, the self before trauma, before confusion, before defeat. That reconnection is restoration, and it's happening each time you whisper, God, I'm here. Prayer is not performance, it is participation in your own healing. It is holy medicine, flowing into the places performance could never reach. It is steady, sacred, and exactly what your soul needs most. So today, receive this not as pressure, but as permission. Permission to show up. Permission to let prayer be messy. Permission to let grace do the heavy lifting. You are not just speaking into silence, you are letting God speak into your soul. You are not just holding on, you are being held. This is not wasted time, this is holy medicine, and it is working. In what ways has daily prayer become medicine for your soul lately? What changes, subtle or deep, have you noticed since making time to pray each morning? How can you remind yourself today that healing happens in repetition, not just revelation? He that dwelleth shall abide. Psalm 91:1. He prepares a table before me. Psalm 23:5. Call unto me, and I will answer thee. Speak this aloud. Daily prayer is my healing. I will keep returning, then forward this prayer to someone who doubts whether anything is changing. Let them know. Prayer may be quiet, but its power is immeasurable. There is a voice that clings like a shadow in the heart of those who are still healing, a quiet, cruel whisper. If I were truly strong, I wouldn't still feel this broken. That voice is not conviction, it's shame in disguise. And it does not come from God. God does not shape you through shame, He restores you through love. He doesn't wound with guilt, He washes with mercy. His message for you this morning is both tender and liberating. Let go of the shame that lingers. You do not have to apologize for where you are on the journey. You don't need to punish yourself for not being past it yet. You don't need to pretend you're healed in order to be held. Psalm 91 offers no formula for perfection, only an invitation to abide. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. That covering is not for the flawless, it is for the fragile. It is for the soul still in process. You do not earn that shelter, you rest in it, you receive it, and you receive it by being real. Shame hides, prayer reveals, and every time you speak your ache in the presence of God, you are reclaiming your name from the narrative of failure. You are declaring, this wound does not define me. This delay does not diminish me. This brokenness does not disqualify me. You are still loved, still carried, still covered. Shame thrives in isolation. It festers in silence. But prayer pulls it out into the light where grace can finally speak. Pope Leo the Canon once wrote, "Shame is the dust the enemy throws in the soul's eye, but grace is the rain that clears the vision." Let grace reign now. Let this morning prayer be your moment of washing, not the kind that erases the memory, but the kind that cleans the wound so it can finally close. God is not asking you to pretend it never happened. He's asking you to let Him redeem it. The past isn't a prison. It's the soil where testimony is growing, and you are still growing. You are still being transformed. Psalm 23 gives you permission to walk with God even when you don't feel whole. He restoreth my soul, He leadeth me. Not once, not occasionally, always. And even when you fall behind, even when shame shouts louder than hope, He keeps leading. He doesn't withdraw, He doesn't abandon. He draws closer, guiding you not around the valley, but through it. And He never loses sight of your destination. Even when you've lost your strength, that's who He is. That's what love does. The shame that once held you back is becoming the soil where compassion grows. And what the enemy tried to bury you in, God is now using as the foundation for your calling. Jesus didn't come to load you with guilt. He came to carry what's crushing you. So if you've been walking under the weight of shame, today is the day to lay it down. Say it plainly, God, I'm ashamed it's taking this long to heal, and let Him whisper back, I'm not. Let Him meet you, not with judgment, but with gentleness, not with anger, but with arms wide open. The very act of returning to prayer today proves it. Shame didn't win. You did. You're here. You're choosing grace. Dr. Anita Phillips teaches that shame tells us to hide in order to survive, but God calls us to emerge in order to truly live. And right here, in the presence of the one who knows your full story, you are safe, you are held, you are enough. Shame has no claim here. And it never did. What part of your healing journey still carries shame instead of grace? How has shame distorted your view of your spiritual progress or self-worth? What would it mean for you to lay down your shame before God today? He shall cover thee. His truth shall be thy shield. Psalm 91:4. He restoreth my soul. Psalm 23:3. There is now no condemnation. Romans 8:1 paraphrased. Say this out loud. Shame is not my story. Grace is. Then share this prayer with someone quietly carrying shame. Let them know you are not your past, and in God's presence, you are already being restored. One of the most disheartening parts of healing is the quiet fear that nothing is changing. You pray, you show up, you whisper Psalm 91, you declare, He restores my soul, and yet, there's no dramatic shift, no overwhelming peace. Just the same ache, the same silence, the same unanswered questions. Slowly, doubt creeps in. Is this even working? But God's message this morning is both calm and certain. Yes, healing doesn't always look like progress, but it is happening. The lack of visible change does not mean God is absent. It means He is working beneath the surface, in the roots, in the silence, in the small and sacred places no one else sees. Psalm 91 was never meant to be a shortcut to deliverance. It is a shelter in the process. He shall deliver thee, He shall cover thee, His truth shall be thy shield. These are not promises of speed, they are declarations of presence. God is with you not only in the breakthrough, but in the stillness before it. And in that stillness healing begins. Pope Leo II said, "The soul is not restored in leaps, but in returns." Every time you return to prayer, to trust, to whispering truth over your tired spirit, you are being rebuilt. Even when you feel like you're standing still, heaven calls it forward motion. Because in the kingdom, the act of coming back is the progress. We live in a world that glorifies fast fixes and visible results, but God is not interested in appearances. He's invested in depth. Psalm 23 leads us through the valley, not around it. And valleys are slow. Valleys are where roots grow down instead of up. They don't look impressive, but they're essential. This season may not look like progress, but it's preparing something stronger than anything you've seen before. Your trust is thickening. Your faith is deepening. Your soul is learning to rest, even when results are delayed. And that, in God's eyes, is growth. Lisa Bevere reminds us that healing often starts long before we see it. Don't confuse silence with stagnation. Trees still grow in winter. You might feel like your soul is in winter, quiet, covered, bare. But roots are growing. The foundation is strengthening. Your emotions may not confirm it, but your consistency proves it. God is forming peace that won't be shaken, strength that doesn't shout, and love that is not dependent on feeling, but on faith. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. So let go of needing to feel better to believe better. Let go of needing evidence to trust. Ask instead, am I still praying? Am I still showing up? Am I still opening my hands to God each morning? If the answer is yes, then this is healing. It may be quiet, but it is sacred. It may not look like progress, but it is transformation. One breath at a time, one prayer at a time, one return at a time. The God who leads you through the valley is also the God who restores your soul, and He never stops walking with you. Look, take issue. Be brave, despite your... What parts of your healing journey have you dismissed because they don't look dramatic? What small signs of strength might be forming quietly beneath the surface? How can you learn to trust God's pace even when your progress feels invisible? He shall cover thee with His feathers. Psalm 91:4. Even though I walk through the valley, thou art with me. Psalm 23:4. We walk by faith, not by sight. Say this aloud. I may not see the change, but I trust the healer. Then share this with someone who feels stuck in the silence. Let them know Healing is not a performance, it's a presence. And it's happening, even now. There are days when your heart feels numb, when prayer feels like an echo, and when God's nearness seems more like a memory than a present reality. On those days, it's easy to believe that nothing is changing, that you're stuck, spiritually frozen, emotionally exhausted. But God's message today is a gentle and sacred assurance, even if you can't feel it. You're changing. Not because you're doing everything perfectly, but because He is faithfully doing what only He can in the deep, unseen places of your soul. Your feelings are not the final word. His faithfulness is. Psalm 91 promises covering, rescue, refuge, not only for the strong, but for the one who dwells. And dwelling doesn't require fireworks. It only requires presence. You may sit in silence. You may whisper half-formed prayers. You may not even know what to say. But by simply showing up in the shadow of the Almighty, you are allowing God's healing to continue. Just like sunlight still softens a seed underground, just like warmth still reaches beneath the surface of frozen earth, God is reaching places inside you that are not yet ready to bloom. And He's doing it without fanfare, quietly, kindly, faithfully. Pope Leo XXIV reminds us that the Spirit of God moves strongest where the soul surrenders deepest, often beneath the threshold of awareness. That means you don't have to feel changed to be changed. You don't have to see proof to trust the process. The very fact that you're listening to this prayer, that you're seeking healing, that you haven't given up, that is evidence that something is stirring. The numbness you feel is not a sign that God is far away. It may be the very place where He is closest, gently holding the part of you too raw to open yet. And He's not in a rush. Psalm 23 says, He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. That word leads implies continual movement, even when you don't notice it. Sometimes healing happens like a flood, but often it happens like a slow river carving through rock. What looks like stillness is actually strength being formed. What feels like delay is actually depth being built. Lisa Bevere teaches that feeling nothing is not the same as being nothing. You are not stuck. You are becoming stable, rooted, whole. Don't wait until you feel different to believe you are being transformed. Begin now. Speak the truth even before your heart catches up. Say, God, I believe you're still working, even in my silence, even in my sorrow. You don't have to manufacture emotion. You don't have to force faith. You only have to remain. The deepest trust is not the one that sings loudly, but the one that stays when the music fades. And you're staying. That matters more than you know. So if today feels like another gray morning, if your spirit feels quiet and your soul feels tired, remember this: you are changing, slowly, eternally, even if it hasn't reached your emotions yet. Healing is not always a feeling. It is often a becoming, and you are becoming whole, even now. How have you equated feeling different with being different in your healing journey? What hidden changes might God be working in you that are easy to overlook? How can you choose to trust the transformation even on days of numbness? Under His wings shalt thou trust. Psalm 91:4. He leadeth me for His name's sake. Psalm 23:3. I am doing a new thing, do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. Say aloud today, even if I can't feel it, I believe I'm being changed. Then send this to someone who feels like nothing is shifting. Let them know transformation is happening, even in the quiet. God sees, and He is not finished. Waiting can feel like the cruelest part of healing. You cry out, you fast, you surrender everything you know how to surrender, and still the pain persists. The silence lingers, and slowly your soul begins to whisper, maybe God forgot me. But that is not the voice of truth. God's message to you this morning is loving, clear, and deeply rooted in mercy. The wait has purpose. You are not lost in limbo. You are being led in love. What feels like delay is actually design. What seems like stillness is holy shaping. You're not forgotten. You're being fortified. Psalm 91 doesn't promise rapid rescue. It promises secure refuge. He shall deliver thee. He shall cover thee. His faithfulness shall be thy shield. That's not a checklist of outcomes. It's a covenant of presence. God doesn't promise shortcuts. He promises shelter. And sometimes the greatest miracle isn't that you're rescued right away. It's that you're covered while you wait. You see, we often pray for rescue, but God answers with restoration. And restoration is slower. It works from the inside out. It does not perform for applause. It roots itself deep. It quiets instead of commands. Psalm 23 says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death." It doesn't say run. It doesn't say skip. It says walk, which means waiting isn't a sign of failure. It's a mark of faithfulness. You are walking through the valley, not because God is punishing you, but because He is preparing you. Every slow step is sacred. Every tear is seen. Every sigh is a prayer He receives. Pope Leo the Catholic once taught, heaven never wastes a wait. It uses it to rewrite the rhythm of the soul. That is what's happening now. God isn't just healing the surface. He's retraining your expectations. He's untangling your anxiety. He's teaching your spirit to breathe again, not through outcomes, but through presence. Dr. Anita Phillips reminds us that our emotions are not interruptions to faith. They are invitations into it. So when you feel restless in the wait, don't suppress the feeling. Let it lead you deeper. Ask, what is God revealing in this quiet that speed would have stolen? Maybe He's showing you how to hear His voice beneath the noise. Maybe He's giving you endurance you didn't know you needed. Maybe He's building wisdom only earned through patience. Waiting may feel like nothing is happening, but it's where the invisible becomes eternal. Nature never rushes. Seeds stay hidden before they break through. Roots take hold before stems reach sunlight. You don't see the progress, but it's happening. And your healing is just like that. Underground, unseen, sacred. Don't judge the soil by the absence of bloom. Trust the gardener. He's watering you with mercy. He's weeding out what can't stay. He's anchoring you deeper before lifting you higher. You are not stuck. You are growing slow, steady, and strong. So let the weight stretch you, not strangle you. Let it become the space where you breathe deeper, not give up. Let it be a sacred pause, not a sentence of punishment. God's delays are never meant to harm you. They're meant to hold you in a deeper way. You are not late. You are not lost. You are being led, step by holy step. You're not wasting time. You're being renewed by it. The wait isn't punishment, it's preparation for something greater than you imagined. What have you believed about waiting that might not align with God's heart? How have you seen growth in your life even when it felt like nothing was happening? What would it look like to embrace this wait as a sacred season, not wasted time? His faithfulness shall be thy shield. Psalm 91:4. Yea, though I walk, thou art with me. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Isaiah 40:31. Speak this aloud. My wait has purpose. God is still working. Then send this prayer to someone stuck in delay. Remind them, heaven never wastes time. It transforms it. And they are being made new, even in the stillness. There are moments when the pages of your life feel chaotic. Detours, tears, chapters you never asked for. You might feel like you're stuck in a broken paragraph, wondering if the author has set the pen down. But God's message to you this morning is full of holy assurance. You're still in the story I'm writing. This is not the final chapter. The pain is not the ending. The silence is not the conclusion. The delay is not a dismissal. You are not forgotten. You are being faithfully written into something eternal. Psalm 91 isn't the anthem of someone with a neat life. It's the survival song of one who chose to dwell in God's presence through danger and delay. He shall deliver thee. Thou shalt not be afraid, because he hath set his love upon me. These are words of process, not perfection. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not off the page. You are inside a living covenant. God is not a passive observer to your wounds. He is the author of your restoration. And authors never stop writing halfway through the redemption arc. Pope Leo II once wrote, "The soul is never safer than when it forgets what it expected and surrenders to what God is revealing." This is your invitation, to surrender the script you thought you'd be living and let God show you the one He's still crafting. You haven't been written off. You've been written into a story that includes valleys but also breakthroughs, that holds sorrow but ends in resurrection. Psalm 23 says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life." Not just the easy ones, not just the days when you feel strong, all the days, even this one, especially this one. God is still pursuing you with His pen of mercy, and He hasn't stopped writing your name on every page. You may have been tempted to believe the story is over, that the pain has the final word, that it's too late to begin again. But Dr. Anita Phillips reminds us, trauma may interrupt, but it cannot cancel what God is unfolding. He doesn't tear out painful pages. He redeems them. He doesn't discard your past. He transforms it. If you're still breathing, grace is still speaking. If you're still praying, even faintly, then the story is still alive. Maybe today healing looks like choosing to believe that your story has more pages than pain. Maybe it means opening your Bible even when the verses blur. Maybe it means whispering, "I still believe there's more," when everything in you wants to quit. These aren't small acts. They are sacred sentences. The ink is mercy, the punctuation is peace, and the narrator is love himself. So pause for a moment and remember, you are not a discarded plot line. You are not the sum of what has gone wrong. You are still being shaped, still being held, still being written into something that echoes with glory. Your healing is not behind schedule. Your progress is not too late. If the chapter still hurts, it means it's not the end. The author is still writing, and when the time is right, the next page will turn. Where have you been tempted to believe your healing story is over? 2. What chapter might God still be unfolding in your life that you've been too discouraged to see? 3. How can you trust the author more deeply, even in the unresolved parts? Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Psalm 23:6. Who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. Forward this to someone stuck in a painful chapter. Let them know the author is still near and the pen of grace has not stopped moving. There is a kind of wisdom that doesn't chase quick fixes or celebrate emotional speed. It's the wisdom that honors the slow, holy work of God. Pope Leo XIV once wrote, "The soul mends best under the patient hand of heaven. Let healing happen slowly, for rushed restoration leaves roots of fear behind." That wisdom stands in sharp contrast to the pressure around you, where speed is idolized and slowness mistaken for weakness. But God's message to you this morning is both freeing and firm. Slow is not a setback. It's evidence that your healing is being done with care. Psalm 91 offers no promise of instant outcomes. It offers something better: faithful presence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield. A shield isn't fast, it's faithful. It's the image of a God who protects as he restores, not by yanking you out of pain, but by staying with you through it. And when God stays, healing deepens. When Pope Leo said to let healing happen slowly, he wasn't suggesting spiritual laziness. He was calling us into sacred patience. Fast healing often only patches the surface, but slow healing reforms the soul. The parts of you that have been tangled in shame or pressure aren't meant to be snapped free. They're meant to be unwound gently, like vines around a heart. Psalm 23 says, "He leadeth me beside still water." Stillness doesn't mean you're stuck. It means God is near enough to match your pace. He doesn't drive you. He leads you, step by breath, tear by whisper. Stillness is intimacy, not inactivity. It's where you begin to hear again, breathe again, trust again. Lisa Bevere reminds us that God's delay is often His design. The longer the root, the stronger the tree. That means what feels like no progress is often where God is doing His best work. Strong roots take time, and God is forming more than comfort. He's forming capacity. You may not see fruit today, but something eternal is being rooted. So if the process feels slow, don't despair. Don't shame yourself for still being in the middle. Just whisper this prayer: let healing happen slowly. That's not resignation, that's reverence. That's not failure, that's faith. The pressure to be better by now is not heaven's voice. God is not measuring your recovery by speed. He's watching your surrender. And every time you return, even weary, you're participating in a miracle. Let today become a turning point. Not because you finally got over it, but because you chose to stop rushing it. Stop measuring your wholeness in timelines. Start trusting the hands that are holding you through it. The shepherd is not in a hurry. He's building something lasting. Every tear you've shed, every deep breath you've taken, every moment you've chosen presence over panic, it's all been sacred. You're not late. You're not behind. You're becoming. And that becoming will not be wasted. Where have you been trying to rush the healing process, and why? 2. How would your peace shift if you allowed God's pace to guide your process? 3. What does it look like to believe that slow healing is more trustworthy than fast relief? His truth shall be thy shield. Psalm 91:4. He leadeth me beside still waters. Psalm 23:2. Let patience have her perfect work. James 1:4. Forward this to someone who feels behind in their journey. Let them know there is no rush in the arms of the shepherd, only restoration. We are surrounded by voices urging us to push forward, to speed up, to chase resolution. But God's whisper this morning is different. Don't rush the miracle. Healing is not something you earn by effort. It's something you receive by remaining. Psalm 91 honors not the quick, but the constant. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Dwelling is slow. It is sacred. It's the quiet courage to stay close when you feel like running. It's trusting that something holy is unfolding, even when you can't yet see it. You may feel like you've waited long enough, like your heart should be healed by now. But the miracle is not behind you or ahead of you. It's here. Like the slow rising of the sun or the subtle sealing of a wound, healing happens quietly. When Pope Leo II said, "The deepest miracles are the quietest ones," the kind that turn mourning into wisdom and waiting into strength, he was describing you. You are not outside the miracle. You're living inside one now. Psalm 23 does not describe a God in a hurry. It describes a God who prepares. Thou preparest a table before me. That table is not a fast food counter. It's a feast, and feasts take time. God sets the table slowly, intentionally, lovingly. He invites you to sit, not to earn, not to prove, but to receive. Even if the plate in front of you looks different than what you prayed for, trust that it has been prepared with care. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being fed. Lisa Bevere says that rest is spiritual warfare, and in resisting the rush, you are already winning the battle. The enemy wants you to equate slow with stuck, but God says slow is sacred. You are not stalled, you are being sustained. If your heart feels restless today, if you're tempted to sprint toward a solution, pause here. Let this morning be what it needs to be: quiet, still, holy. Whisper this: God, I will not rush the miracle. That's not passivity, that's power. That's choosing presence over panic, trust over timelines, grace over grind. You are not failing because it's taking time. You are being faithfully formed in the stillness, and the deeper the root, the stronger the bloom. This season may not look spectacular, but it is supernatural. Every breath of surrender is healing. Every moment of stillness is holy ground. So today, resist the urge to measure progress by speed. Measure it by presence. Ask yourself, where am I tempted to rush? What fear is fueling that urgency? And how would it change me to believe I'm already living inside the miracle? Because you are. You are the one who stayed. You are the one who kept showing up. You are the one who chose peace over pressure, and heaven sees it all. You're not behind, you're becoming. Stay close, stay still, stay loved. Where are you tempted to rush your healing, and what's driving that urgency? 2. What might it look like to stop chasing and start dwelling in God's presence today? 3. How does it change your mindset to believe you're already inside the miracle? He that dwelleth shall abide. Psalm 91:1. Thou preparest a table before me. Psalm 23 verse 5. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. Forward this to someone who feels frantic or forgotten. Remind them, the miracle is not always loud, but it is always unfolding. Stay close. Stay still, stay loved. Every prayer you've whispered, every breath you've offered, every moment you chose stillness instead of striving, it has all mattered. None of it was wasted. It's been woven into a greater rhythm of healing, a slow but certain work of God that doesn't rely on your perfection, only your presence. Today, God's message is not one more thing to accomplish. It is an invitation. Reflect, receive. Let me restore you, not by pushing, not by fixing, but by dwelling. You are not behind. You are being rebuilt by grace. And grace always finishes what it begins. Psalm 91 began this journey with a promise. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You dwelled, not without doubt, not without struggle, but with a heart that kept returning. And that returning was the healing. That quiet choosing to stay close, even when your wounds still whispered, is what reshaped your soul. Pope Leo XX wrote, "The soul that returns each morning is already being made new. One breath, one prayer, one quiet yes at a time. You've returned, and that means restoration is already happening, even now." Psalm 23 affirms your direction. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. All the days. Even the ones when you felt numb. Even the ones when the only prayer you had left was help. Those days still counted. Because in God's kingdom, progress is not measured in emotions. It's measured in presence. You are not going back to the person you were. You are becoming someone new. Not by erasing the pain, but by integrating hope. Not by forgetting your story, but by letting God rewrite it in love. This morning, let yourself pause, not to fix, but to feel. Reflect on what's changed in you, not what's missing. Receive the rest God is offering, not because you're done, but because you're held. And let Him restore the places no one else sees. He is not rebuilding a fragile version of you. He is raising up someone softer, stronger, slower, more rooted. That's what restoration looks like. Steady, sacred, sure. And it begins again each morning, not with striving, but with a holy breath. What has changed in you since you began praying this way each morning? Where do you still need to let go and allow God to fully restore you? How will you carry this rhythm of restoration into tomorrow and beyond? He that dwelleth shall abide under the shadow. Psalm 91:1. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Psalm 23:6. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. Forward this to someone who needs to finish their healing journey with hope. Let them know this is not the end. It's the next breath, the next morning, the next step toward the wholeness only God can give.